everybody, I'm back, and today I am actually, this is not a game. Well, technically it is, but what I mean is basically, wait, what? Alright, yeah, I was playing a game against myself on a site called Chessbase, and here's the game that I played, and I just wanted to do a little sort of recap or something on this game because this had many key points. So we start off with e4 and c5, and then we get knight f3 and and then d6. And then I played c3 because it's always what I do. So why do I not play c3? Well, then there's always knight f6 or even d5. So yeah, that's why I don't play c3. So there you go, c3, knight f6, and now I played this move bishop e2, because if they ever want to take, they're gonna get forked. Oops, they're gonna get forked. So they don't want to take. So I played knight c6 because of course I'm against myself. I just I was both sides. I'm not playing against a robot version of me. I'm just playing on both sides. So yeah, and I played d4. After takes and bishop d7, they are now threatening take. They are threatening take now. So of course I pushed the pawn, which is great. But then knight d5 I played. So thing is, after takes, I mean, no, not take the pawn. Take the knight. The knight's super strong, and if you want to get rid of the knight, you would have to take, and your knight has to go backwards. If he goes forwards, then there's like queen d5 stuff. So, of course, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do knight d5. So, and again, knight d5. I mean, of course, you don't want to take. I mean, so yeah, after knight d5. Okay, wait, bro. Okay. After knight d5 and queen b3 and knight b6, d5 happened. And this hangs a clear pawn, which I completely missed while playing the move. And of course, I took it because I'm playing against myself. And after knight takes and knight takes, I played bishop e3, which is also a slight mistake because I would assume there's like e6 or even like bishop f4 to target this weak pawn. e6, on the other hand, it would take. So I would say bishop f4 is better because e6 just gets rid of my weakness. So I would like that. So I played bishop e3, but then I played bishop a4, which is a mistake. Because now bishop e5 check. You always want to look for your opponent's response. You always want to look for your opponent's response. Best response. Not just their response, but the best response. So after check and takes, and here, now can you find the move? And I played first question of the day. Can you find it? Now I know I'm not playing at Grandmaster level, but I mean, it's just decent. It should be good enough to win you at least a few games. Yeah, a few tips. So, can you find the move I played here? It's the easiest out of all the moves, I think. So I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. The move is knight to c3. This is a great move. because it protects the queen, and if they take, which is what I played, um, it's bad. Also, you cannot take because after takes, there's just takes and you win a knight. So instead, they have pretty much no good option. All right, they're in what you call zugzwang. So I took, takes, and takes. This is a blunder. Because well, can you find the move here? This is a little bit harder than last time. Because there's actually, it looks like there's two moves, except there isn't. Only one works. Guess 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, it's not queenside castles. Okay, because then check here, and there's no knight c7 threat anymore. So they go knight c7. And though you might win a piece or a pawn, your knight gets trapped a bit, and it's gonna be really annoying, let's say. Or it's just not as good as the other option, bringing the rook plainly. And now, well, if they take, this is checkmate. Surprise, surprise. So they have to queenside castle. Because, I mean, this is. Oops. If. Well, if they bring the rook, they just rook takes d5, takes, fork, this, and you completely obliterate them and you're up a piece. So queenside castles is the only move. Now captures king b8. And now this is probably actually the hardest move to find of the game. What would you play in this position? What would you play? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I keep forgetting to do the countdown. So the move is rook d3. So some of you guys might have thought bishop b6, but this throws away the game. And can you find why? It's really simple. Really simple if you know one rule of the game of chess. So there's knight takes bishop, and after rook takes rook and king takes knight, they're not going to be pinned for long because after this, there's just this protecting the rook. And in fact, two pieces are better than a rook. So, yeah. You give away a bishop for a rook, a bishop, and a knight for a rook. So it's not the best line. Instead, rook d3 is best. Now, what about castles? Castles, again, not the best move because now not e4, e6, and it protects the knight, brings bishop, gives you option to bring the bishop down. Now if rook d3, now they just go like bishop b4, and now they're actually threatening to take. Oh, okay. Now they're actually threatening to take, and then take your knight. So you got to be careful of this. So instead, you have to use your. So there's two things in chess called. So there's two things in chess that sort of sort all the advantages. So there's a short-term advantage and then there's a long-term advantage. So what's example of short-term? Well, one would be lead in development, or one could also be castle king, or one could be like I don't know. There's multiple ways to say it. But then long-term advantages are like less pawn islands. So you can see here there is 1, 2 pawn islands for white, and then 1, 2 pawn islands for black. Okay, pawn for black. And black is up a pawn, so that's a long-term advantage. But it didn't help so much because they still ended up losing. That's why it's thing. That's why it's white's perspective. So now rook d3, and now there's still e6, but this time there's rook b3, and after check, you just move the king up. Now here comes probably, maybe actually this one is the hardest. What do you do after knight takes e3? What is the best move, at least? That, well, at least move I played in the game, which I thought was the best move. Because every move I'm playing, I thought about it, and I thought it was the best move. So, yeah. Okay. So the move. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, I forgot to do the countdown. 0. So, what if you take with the pawn? Well, then there's just king takes, and it's equal. There's nothing, to be honest. Well, yeah, it's equal because this is a big weakness for black. And I guess this is also a very big weakness. So it's around equal because black does have a pawn up. They're up a pawn. If king takes, then the same thing. Except your king is just a little bit more active. But the move is... This depends on if you know the term Zwischenzug, or in between move, or I think some people even call it an intermediate move. And that is when, you know, like when sometimes in puzzles they're attacking your queen, but instead, like you check them, which is an in-between move, so you cannot take them. And after they take whatever's checking you, or they move their king, you would do something to win material or something. So that's what it is. But in this case, it's completely different. So you see, it's a 2-on-1, right? 2-on-1. So what do you want to do? When it's 2-on-1. You want to advance on the queen side. But what if you can make it 1 versus 0 in just 1, 2, 3 moves? Right. So the move is knight c6 check. They're forced to take, otherwise you would just take the rook. And if they move your knight, well, you got a bishop for a rook, you're winning. So they're forced to take, and after that you take with check. Oops, bruh. You take with check. They're forced to move the king. I don't know where they went. It was king c7. And now, what do you take with? 5, 4. You could also just pause the video, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So, I'll tell you the wrong option first. If you take with the f pawn, this is a long-term weakness. And so now there's the move c5. And if something like this, they go something like this. And you're not as much winning as you could have been. So like there's still a4 ideas, but then there's just rook a8, and after rook a1, they go rook c8, and after b4, they just take. After takes, they go king a5. You can't do much. You cannot push because they would take. And now they're also threatening to just go here and capture, do Pac-Man and all these Pac-Man and on all of the pawns. So the best move, and also probably the reason you're thinking is of that was because it opens up the file. Well, that they just push. So I mean, there's no real point behind it. So the correct move is king takes e3, bro. The correct move is king takes e3, because now if c5, it's not what happened, but now if c5, uh, there's like there's rook c1, and before there was rook c1, so you do this variation. Here there's rook c1, but then king c6. I mean not king c6. Sorry, king d6, bro. Okay, you know what? No, it's fine. Well, actually, I guess both moves work, but what I did was king takes. And after rook a8, played a4, then rook a5 to stop a5 ideas. And then I played, what did I play? I played b3, because obviously rook a5 is not just to stop a5, but also to reroute the rook to this square. So, and then put pressure on this pawn. So, of course, b3 to protect the pawn. And after c5, rook c4, king b6, and rook d1, king c6, which stops rook's intrusion or invasion. And after rook a1, rook b8, we now go king d and rook a3, protecting the pawn. And now after there, rook b4, we just bring our king. This is a great move. It's great. It's a literal great move. That's an exclamation mark if you can see. But so yeah. And now they can't do anything but wait. But f5 is actually a super good move because as you saw, black got super close to queening. If the king was too slow, they would get super close to queening and almost win. So after king c3, rook takes c4, king takes c4, and a4. We just go b4, trade off the pawns, and this move is the best. But now rook h3 or rook g3, both moves work, because eventually you're gonna win one pawn. And now f5, f4 was a really annoying move for me. But I realized after takes and rook e5, you can check. Okay, wait. So in this situation, you can check. Because this is actually a blunder. But if they take, then the blunder became into a brilliant, because takes, the king is forced to go back and you just win a rook. And you even control this file. So, yeah. But check is a blunder. Instead, king c4 is the great move. King c4. Because after the king goes after the pawn, even the rook, I thought the king, because otherwise this would be too easy to capture. And then after it captures and takes, also, yeah, if the rook went after it, I completely forgot also apparently that this would just come with check. So yeah. So the king went after it, and then we captured all the pawns, and now finally in this position, what do you which pawn do you take? This is actually really easy if you find the main reason. So this requires calculation. You need to memorize it in your head. But yeah. So yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so now let's move is not king takes g4, because after takes, they protect the pawn. And even if check and here takes, it's still way harder to win. Um, so, yeah. And, so, okay, I don't know why I'm going all the way back. So, yeah, you saw there, the move is king takes f4. Because after takes, what do you play here? You already saw if you were paying attention. Like real attention, because I did it really fast by accident, but yeah. What is the move? It requires calculation. So, you need to calculate which endgame is the easiest to win. That's what you need to do. So, the move is king g3. If you take, and after take, king here, there's like rook here. And if you try to bring the king up, they always just go here. And if here, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put my rook on g5. I guess they'll just bring their king, and as soon as you put it on g5, they just go here. If you check, you let their king out. So that's a bad move. But let me show you what happens if king takes g4, because I made a line for that. So after king takes g4, rook takes, and uh, g3. That's actually. If you play something like g3, then after takes, here, 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 here. And also, if you're wondering why not here, I don't know why. Okay. Well, I didn't think about moving the rooks to here, here. Of course, I didn't think of there, or here. But that was because I mainly wanted to cut the king off on this file, so the king would not get to the pawn. But this is not actually the real game. I'll show you the real game soon. Rook e8, and after king up, king here, rook down, king here. It looks like black is completely losing, but then there's always this trick, rook all the way down. And now, if you go something like this, there's a rook check, and eventually the king comes down, and here there's rook f1. And rook anywhere else, I'm pretty sure just loses on the spot. So yeah. So if you're wondering, like rook h1, there's just I think rook b3. Yeah, rook b3 because if king f8, that's not b3, g6. Because after rook f6 check and here, now here, and you win. So rook anywhere else would have even led to the same thing. Let's say like d1, rook b3, and you lose. So rook f1 is the only surviving move here. Because after check and king f8, this would actually lead to king b1, and surprise, surprise, you're losing. Because now you're forced to take because you're pinned. So you cannot block with the rook. King f8 is the best move, and now it's a draw. It's just a draw, as long as black doesn't mess up. So let's say white tries to go rook b3 here. Now just check. Let's say pawn, rook here. Now you're not pinned, so you would just go all the way back. And yeah, let's say like rook here. Well then, there's just this. Takes, it's a draw. Everyone knows this endgame. It's always a draw. So, yeah. That's why king takes g4 is not the best move at all. Not even close. But, you saw the difference. So king takes f4, because after takes there's king g3. The key defensive idea. And after takes, I mean not takes, rook b2, don't take with the king. They're trying to trick you. They're trying to trick you because then they would take this pawn. And then again, it would be the same endgame that I just showed you. So, don't get tricked. Check with the rook. And if they go here, which is obviously what they should do, this just, you trade and then you take the pawn and you just push this pawn to the end. You straight up push it to the end. So, after they move the king, take with the rook. Well, take with the king, they take the g pawn. So you gotta take with the rook. After check, king up here, here. I decided to end the game here. So if we go to the original view, these are all the variations. I didn't show all of them, but yeah, here. White wins by resignation. So this might not be perfect. There are probably even more blunders that I missed, but I mean, this should at least be enough to, you know, enough tips to at least let you play decent chess. Because again, I mean, I'm not a grandmaster. So, yeah. So, yeah. Um, thanks for watching. See you later. And, yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you truly liked the video, the like button will turn to a firework for a few seconds. I guess 1 second. And, yeah. But only if it knows you're not lying. If you like, even if you don't just like the video, you like my channel, then it's gonna be like Vartika. Congratulations, September. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and see you.